John Frusciante has never chased fame the way most rock stars do. Best known as the creative backbone of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Frusciante has always treated music as something deeply personal, almost spiritual. He disappears for years, returns unexpectedly, and when he speaks about music, people listen carefully. At his core, Frusciante isn't impressed by speed or flash. He values emotion, tone, honesty, and intention. So when he finally spoke openly about the 10 guitarists who shaped his playing, fans realized this wasn't just a list, it was a map of his musical soul. These are the players who taught Frusciante how to say more with fewer notes, how silence matters, and why feeling always beats technique. 1. Joni Mitchell. At the top of Frusciante's list stands Joni Mitchell. Her open tunings, unconventional chords, and deeply personal songwriting reshaped how Frusciante understood the guitar itself. Mitchell didn't just play the instrument, she reinvented how it could express emotion. For Frusciante, her work proved that creativity has no boundaries when you follow intuition instead of rules. 2. Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson represented the root of everything. Frusciante studied Johnson not for speed or complexity, but for emotional intensity. One guitar, one voice, and complete conviction. Johnson taught Frusciante that music doesn't need technology or production to be powerful, it only needs truth. 3. Neil Young. Neil Young proved that perfection doesn't matter. Frusciante admired how Young's solos felt raw, fragile, and sometimes on the edge of collapse. That tension made the music feel human. Young showed him that honesty matters more than polish, a lesson Frusciante carried throughout his career. 4. Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa taught Frusciante that intelligence and humor belong in music. Zappa's complex compositions, sudden shifts, and fearless experimentation expanded Frusciante's understanding of what guitar music could do. More than technique, Zappa inspired independence, the refusal to follow trends or expectations. 5. Johnny Marr. Johnny Marr showed Frusciante how rhythm guitar could be just as powerful as lead. Marr's chiming patterns, layered melodies, and constant motion influenced Frusciante's approach to songwriting within a band setting. Instead of dominating the mix, Marr created space, something Frusciante would later master himself. 6. Jeff Buckley. Jeff Buckley wasn't known for flashy guitar work, but that's exactly why Frusciante loved him. Buckley's playing served the song, not the ego. His chords, textures, and subtle lines created emotional depth without distraction. Frusciante connected deeply with Buckley's vulnerability and willingness to expose himself completely through sound. 7. Captain Beefheart. Captain Beefheart represented complete artistic freedom. To Frusciante, Beefheart proved that music could be strange, chaotic, and still honest. The guitar wasn't always about beauty, sometimes it was about confrontation. Frusciante respected the courage it took to make music without compromise, no matter how confusing it sounded to listeners. 8. Edgard Vess. Edgard Vess wasn't a rock guitarist in the traditional sense, but his influence ran deep. Frusciante admired Vess for breaking rules and ignoring expectations. The textures, dissonance, and unconventional structures taught Frusciante that music didn't need to be comfortable to be meaningful. This influence pushed Frusciante toward experimental sounds later in his solo work. 9. David Gilmour. David Gilmour showed Frusciante the power of restraint. Instead of flooding songs with notes, Gilmour allowed melodies to breathe. Each bend carried weight. Each pause meant something. Frusciante admired how Gilmour could make a single note feel enormous. That lesson would later shape Frusciante's own minimalist approach with the Chili Peppers. 10. Jimi Hendrix. For Frusciante, Jimi Hendrix wasn't just a guitarist, he was a force of nature. What mattered most wasn't the effects or volume, but the way Hendrix made the guitar feel alive. His feedback, bends, and loose phrasing sounded like raw emotion spilling out in real time. Frusciante has often said that Hendrix taught him that mistakes can become magic if you commit to them. The guitar didn't need to be controlled, it needed to be felt. This list isn't about guitar heroes. It's about honesty, vulnerability, and courage. Frusciante doesn't admire players who dominate stages, he admires those who reveal themselves through sound. Every guitarist on this list shares one thing in common. They played from the heart, not the hands. Which guitarist on this list surprised you the most? Who would you put at number 1? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Golden Rock Stars for more deep dives into music history.